May I come in, please?
Yes, come in.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon,
ma'am. Good afternoon, sir.
Please be seated.
Thank you, sir.
Are you fully vaccinated?
Yes, sir.
You may remove your mask.
All right, sir.
Please give a brief introduction about yourself.
So my name is Mallika Nain. I am from Dehradun. I have done my graduation from Himvati Nandan Bahuguna University. Thereafter, I did my post-graduation MA Economics from Sridhar Suman University. I also did Bachelor's in Education. And thereafter, I have been preparing for civil services. My optional is Political Science and International Relations. Apart from that, I have hobbies too. That is reading articles on international relations as well as reflexive writing.
I have a question, Mallika, for you. You are a highly educated person. You did your graduation in commerce, MA in economics, also BEd. Why did you not choose your career in academics?
So initially I went ahead into teaching. I did a little bit freelancing too, but then I realized that there are opportunities in civil services also, which will give me wide opportunities to enable in the education sector too.
But as a teacher, you can change destiny of hundreds of people, isn't it? A good teacher is much better than a good administrator. That's what I believe.
Yes, sir. I too believe that a teacher's role is very important one. But sir, I also believe that in the civil services too, I can assume the teaching by improving the lives of so many people, because I realize that in teaching I might be helping few students, but civil services will give me more opportunity to help more students.
How the knowledge you have acquired in commerce and economics is going to help you in your discharge of duty as an administrator?
Sir, as a civil servant, it would be helpful in revenues department, in economy, in growth, in regarding generation of employment avenues.
Are you aware of the fact how government accounting is done?
Sir, no, sir, I am not aware presently.
You must have done the accrual accounting, isn't it? As a student of commerce or economics, you must be fully aware of the accrual accounting concepts, or not?
Sir, it was way back that I did my graduation.
So you don't want to answer questions related with that. So tell me one final question from my side. We have been talking about women empowerment. So many NGOs are also working on women empowerment. So many articles are also written on women empowerment. What is your definition of women empowerment?
So I believe that a woman is empowered when she has the right of choices to make for herself and for her family, when she is a deciding role to determine what is best for her. I think that will be the woman empowerment.
So what is lacking in that, particularly with reference to rural areas of UP?
So I believe the reason is the patriarchal mindset is still there, where women are not given that much freedom to decide. That is the lacking factor, I guess.
So how are you going to bring about the change?
Sir, as an administrator, I would like to change by organizing small assemblies with the women, a sabha kind of, in which I would like to have a one-to-one conversation with them. In fact, I will also try to organize small gatherings for men also, because I believe rather than women, men also need to understand the women's importance and role. That's how I will try to bring change.
Apart from many other ills and evils, one problem in the society of eastern states, particularly UP and Bihar, is that of dowry system. Though we have an anti-dowry act, but it's seldom followed as a law. So why so, and what is the way forward?
Sir, I think the reason why still dowry is prevalent in the rural areas, majorly in rural areas of Eastern UP and Bihar, is that maybe people are not aware what are the implications if situation will be there of anti-dowry, and women also generally tenderlize in the family to go ahead with the dowries. It is coming from women also in rural areas. So in that cases, what can be done is people can be taught about what are the dowry, what are its implications for the woman and for the family ahead.
Don't you think there's a completely lack of application on the part of law enforcing agencies?
So government are trying their best. They have even incorporated many ambassadors from film fraternity to try to make people aware about dowries, making films also on that issues, but yet people are still not aware, and that is the thing.
Okay, thank you.
Mallika, who is the new Prime Minister of Sri Lanka?
So right now I'm not aware of it.
So your interest is IR, reading the article in international affairs, and you are also the student of PSIR. Why the Prime Minister of Italy has resigned?
So I'm not aware of it right now.
Killing of 𝐶hinzo 𝐏𝐽. How it is going to impact the Indo-Japan relationship?
So Shinzo Abe has been a very good ex-Prime Minister of Japan who have helped to establish good relationships with India and China. But sir, I guess after his legacy will be forwarded by the other Prime Minister, the present Prime Minister of Japan.
So who is the Prime Minister of Japan?
Sir, I'm not able to recall at the moment right now.
Okay, go ahead.
So, sir, India and Japan are still working together on various issues like bullet train, and Japan is financing the bullet train project. The dedicated freight corridor also Japan is financing, and they are also working on some Center of Excellence institutes. So I guess this will continue even after with the new regime in the Japan.
Israel and UAE both are breaking the ice. What happens?
So Israel and UAE, particularly after the Abraham Accord mediated by the USA, they have established their relationships in a better way, and it will be better for India too, because then India can have a comprehensive Middle East policy rather than going from bilateral nations. It will improve India's efficiency and security in the region from geo-economic and geo-strategic perspective. As well, it will be beneficial for the energy needs too.
Why Saudi Arabia and Iran are not breaking the ice?
Sir, I believe that it is because due to their geopolitical issues in the region.
What are the issues?
Sir, related to the Iran's nuclear program, which is not Saudi and other Gulf region are not approving of it.
So it is a war of supremacy.
Sir, I don't believe it is a war of supremacy. Rather, I believe that it is a war, it is a issue of intention and ideological perspective.
Okay. In West Asia, they are transforming into trade cities. Why such countries are transforming them into trade cities?
So initially, the Western nations were particularly the oil-driven one. Most of the revenue was coming from energy sector, but they wanted to diversify their revenue sources. That's why they wanted to become trade cities so as they could get more investments in their cities.
Have you heard about the Lion City?
No, sir, no.
My last question from my side. Why Afghanistan is so important in world politics?
Sir, Afghanistan has always been an area of the great games, right from when Britishers were in India. Then also Britishers and Russia were involved in the great games. Thereafter, during Cold War area, it also become important. The Afghan crisis in 1980 and 1990 was also because of Afghanistan's geopolitical position, as because it is a diverging point between two continents, that is Europe and Asia. The position becomes specifically important. And if we look forward to terrorism and other issues, then India's geostrategy and geosecurity concerns come in with reference to Afghanistan.
Is it lies between the Europe and Asia?
Yes, sir, it is on the convergent point, I guess.
Thank you, Mallika.
Mallika, if you had to give certain suggestion to harness the potential of tourism in UP, what suggestions would you give?
Ma'am, I believe firstly the marketing needs to be done like what other states are doing. Like Uttar Pradesh have made ambassador, Mr. Akshay Kumar have made their ambassadors. Such marketing tactics can also be adopted by Uttar Pradesh government. Secondly, recently Uttar Pradesh government has adopted a scheme, that is homestay scheme, in which it has analyzed the potential of Tharu tribe. The people can come in and stay with the Tharu tribe, know their culture along with in the tourism sector. So in this way it will generate employment also and will expand the tourism too.
Anything else with regards to safety, infrastructure?
Yes, ma'am. Infrastructure capabilities like building hotels and accommodations and other services like energy needs, if it can also boost the tourism sector.
What is the tagline of UP Tourism?
Ma'am, I'm not aware of it.
Can you tell me The state emblem of Uttar Pradesh, what is it?
Ma'am, I cannot exactly recall, but it is a fish and a bow and arrow is there in the
And
emblem.
what does it represent?
Ma'am, I'm not aware of.
Okay, state animal of Uttar Pradesh.
Swamp deer, Barasingha.
Okay, state tree.
Ashok tree.
Good. Do you think that provision of Maternity Benefit Act has actually worked in disfavor of women, because we see that its impact on female labor force participation rate? What do you have to say about it? Has it really worked in disfavor for women?
Ma'am, rather I believe that it has helped women to work more, because earlier they did not used to go for formal working because they felt like initially they have to start a family and they find it a barrier, the employment sector a barrier for their family ahead. But now they are assured that if they will go for formal employment, they are provided with maternity benefits, which will in fact help to balance out their family as well as professional life.
But the bill of Maternity Benefit Act is being footed by the industries, by the private companies, so they are rather hesitating in hiring women, because they'll have to, one, fill up for their absence of more than 6 months, and two, they'll have to provide double income, one to the person who's working in their place and one to the woman herself. So don't you think that any employer would rather take men rather than a woman?
Ma'am, I believe that yet the employer feels that he have to pay double, but it will be good for women also, because then they feel more secured and they will give them more efforts toward working in the sector.
Okay. What do you understand by learning poverty? You have done your B.Ed course, so tell me, what is learning poverty?
Ma'am, learning poverty is when the education enrollment, gross enrollment is more, but yet the foundational learning is not that much. The students are not aware of foundational literacy, numeracy, then it is called learning poverty.
And in India, what has been the reason for learning poverty?
First reason is, ma'am, the administrative challenges are there, the non-availability of schools in the area. The second is teacher-pupil ratio, which is not adequate. It needs to be increased so that teachers can give importance to more students. And ma'am, children, girl child are not going to schools. That is also an issue.
Okay, my last question to you would be, tell me 3 important judgments of this year in India by the Supreme Court or High Courts.
Ma'am, first the recent one is from the today itself. It is regarding the medical termination of pregnancy. When a girl of 25 years unmarried girl is allowed to terminate her pregnancy beyond 24 weeks. The second one is regarding interim bail order, in which it has allowed the interim bail and clubbing of the cases on the AL News founder. And third one is regarding Nupur Sharma case, where the Supreme Court has stated that people in positions should be watchful of their words, what they speak.
Okay, thank you, Mallika.
Tell me why I should consider you the best candidate.
Sir, I believe I have compassion and empathy towards the society. I myself belong from a humble background, so I would be able to know what issues probably the people are facing. Secondly, sir, I believe my core strength is patience, not only with the situations but also with people too. I believe that not necessarily if we put in efforts, the result come in timely phase. It might take time, it might not also come. But then also I have perseverance to wait ahead and work still with same attitude and fortitude.
What is your dream role?
So my dream role at presently would be to get into the civil services.
Okay, and then where do you see yourself in 10 years from today?
Sir, I see myself to be working in major areas like in health sector, in education sector, and trying to have an impact on mostly peoples through my working.
Last question, what will you choose, career or job satisfaction?
So I would choose job satisfaction.
Okay, thank you very much. Your interview is over. You may go now.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Can I come in, sir?
Yes, come in. Sit down. So, how was your experience?
So I was a little bit nervous.
Other than that?
I guess I fumbled in a few questions.
Nervousness, the moment you entered, we could see signs of nervousness on your face. So there's no reason to be nervous. You are getting an opportunity to come for the dream role of your career. So you should be an enthusiast.
So it's my first interview, and very first mock I'm giving.
Okay, so try to get over your nervousness. That is very important.
Yes, sir.
That is very important.
Yes, sir.
That you should be a confident looking person. You have an excellent communication skill. There is nothing for you to feel nervous about it, because communication skill is one thing which is rare to get. You have one. So for a civil servant, if he has the gift of the gab, then that is a plus point. You are also a very honest, simple person. Honesty of purpose is there in you, a very positive body language. All those qualities are there. So honesty is another big requirement of a civil servant. We have the honesty and integrity in ample measures. So absolutely no problem about that. And total persona is also good. Only thing is that certain things you have to be very careful about. Your interview is tomorrow only.
No, sir.
When is your interview?
On 28th.
Oh, it's 22nd it is written. Okay, 28th is there. So some time is there at your
I might have filled.
it's okay. It's okay. It's on 27th.
Yes.
Okay. You see, political science is your optional subject. Your hobby is also reading articles on international affairs. So you are pushing board members to make a note of it.
Yes, sir.
That look, I'm a person who is thorough in political science, who reads articles on international affairs. Ask me any questions, and you will not find me wanting, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So, in that background, certain questions which were asked to you, you should have been more candid in replying to those questions. Like Indo-Japan relationship, you spoke well. You spoke about the DFCCIL, you spoke about bullet train. There are many other areas also where there is a mutual trust between the two countries. And your Shinzo Abe, you said the relationship will not change. At the same time, a factual question was asked, who is the Prime Minister, present Prime Minister? So as a student of international relations and reading articles, you should be aware of that. So it will not impact. The relationship is so strong that is any change at the guard is not going to alter the relationship between the two countries. Then there was slip of tongue from your side. Instead of Indo-Japan, you said India and China. So that kind of a small mistakes, just make a mental note of it. Then Afghanistan, you said that the border of Europe and Asia. Is it? It is not. So it is between Central, West and South Asia. So that kind of a statement coming from a person who is thorough in international affairs, reads articles on it is not desirable.
Yes, sir.
So if you don't know, just admit that I don't recollect as of now, instead of giving a wrong answer. So that should not happen. Then Sri Lanka PM, of course, you did know because they were appointed today only.
Yes,
Yeah, so you don't know, but try to get as much information as possible, because you are pushing, you are goading, cajoling your members to ask you questions on political science and international relationship. So you have to be very thorough on what is happening around the world, particularly Russia, Ukraine. So, and while taking a stand, don't take stand either in favor of one country or against the other country. It has to be whatever government of India has taken, go with that. How it is leading to food crisis and all that. So you should be fully aware of all that. What has happened in Sri Lanka, some people blame China, whether you agree with this or not, that this is all because of debt trap that it has got into this problem. So you have a clear idea in your mind before you go for the interview. So this will give you very good marks, I tell you. You are a wonderful candidate, and I don't know how you have done in your theory paper. If you have done well in your theory paper, you will be getting very good marks in the interview. We have no doubt in our mind. Just don't let the opportunity slip away from your hand.
All
Okay.
right.
Wish you all the best.
Okay.
And be
Thank you, sir.
confident.
Yes, I will try. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir.